What is up, y'all? In this video, we're going to talk about, well, how to start a compost pile. Now, if you've seen my last video where I talked about, actually video before last, called Composting Made Easy, go to my channel and scroll through. I think it'd be like the third video down if I don't remember. And a lot of y'all saying, well, I can't get livestock at all where I live in town, blah blah blah. Well, this is how to start basically a hot composting setup. It's going to require you a lot of work. Okay, there are other composting setups which are cold composters. You can get a worm bin. Those things are freaking amazing. I've got two of them actually. One of them up and going, the other one fixing to be. Yeah, I've got two of them. I've got two composting bins where I compost human manure, basically my own poop. But this is how to do kind of a hot composting setup, and I'm going to do it in the goat pen, but the thing is the same. The only difference is you have to add in your green material. Now, what is your green material? Well, you need greens and browns. Your brown material is anything woody, so straw, hay, wood shavings, wood chips, sawdust, leaves. Now, I heard a weird noise coming out of the chickens. Anyways, basically anything that's high carbon. Oh, that way. Okay. Now, your nitrogen-rich materials are your greens, your fresh cut grasses, your kitchen scraps, animal manures. Even though they're brown, they're actually considered a green. There's tons of stuff, tons of stuff that's actually a green material. And I'll get into another ingredient in just a little bit. But you need air and you need water. You need to turn the pile. You can do a turn by temperature setup, which is you pile the stuff up, you mix it in, you wait till it gets 160 degrees, and then you turn it. And then you wait till it gets 160 degrees again, and then you turn it. And you basically do that till it stops heating up. Pros and cons with that, okay? You can do, I think it's called the 18-day method, where you turn your compost every three or so days. I don't do those. One, I don't have a composting thermometer. Two, I don't have time to turn the pile every 3 days. Okay, so I do the third method. I turn once a week. It heats up, it'll stay warm for that entire week. I turn it, it'll heat up again within the next 24 hours. Yeah, they're fine. And it'll stay there the rest of the week, and then I turn it again. It heats up a little bit, but there's not enough nitrogen material in there to actually get it kicking, so it's basically done. So yeah, all right, I see y'all in a little bit. The next ingredient, because I mentioned carbon, nitrogen, air, I don't think I mentioned water, but you do need that. You want it about the dampness of a wrung out sponge. Okay, you don't want, when you squeeze it, you don't want more than a few drops coming out. You don't want it gushing out. You don't want nothing coming out. You want a few drops coming out. But the one I want to get into is basically, because if you're starting a compost pile, you probably don't have the soil biology to kickstart wherever you're going to put your pile at. There are certain products out there. You don't have to buy them. I'll get into that, what you can use. But we recommend Espuma compost starter. You can get it at Tractor Supply for roughly about $6. I'm not sponsored by any of these companies, by the way. Anyways, a product you can use is if you know somebody that runs a farm, say they run a livestock operation, okay, go and get their manure. That's what you want to use as a green for your first 2 piles, okay? Now, sorry. What I mean by first 2 is start one with just some type of brown and a layer of manure. A layer of brown, a layer of manure, a layer of brown, a layer of manure. That is essentially what's in here. And do the turning about once a week. Once you turn it, though, you want to turn it into another bin from the top and the middle, outward and downward. Okay. The next one, do the exact same thing. Manure, browns, manure, all this. Once you turn it again, your next week, take a 5-gallon bucket, fill that with the first pile that you started. Okay. In other words, the one that's in that second bin there, and put the rest into a third bin. Put the one from the the fresh pile into that other bin. Now, add a layer of brown, sprinkle in some of your compost. Okay, right on top of that brown layer. Add a layer of greens. This could be anything. That doesn't have to be manure anymore. I recommend fresh cut grass mixed in with kitchen scraps. Okay, if you're going to compost kitchen scraps. Okay. Now a layer of brown. Sprinkle a layer of your now starter, basically, in your compost. From the 5-gallon bucket. Water that all in again, add another layer of greens, keep repeating this layer till it's full. Okay. If you don't know anybody that has livestock or does composting themselves, then go with the bought product. But you only have to do this for, like I said, 2 bins or 2 weeks, and then you got your own compost starter. You can just throw this bag away, use the rest of it, whatever. But I'm gonna show you how to use it. Okay, I hope y'all can see me, but I mean, this stuff, it used to say use 1 cup per every 27 square feet. And by the way, that's the old one doing math. Okay. Now it says use 1 cup per every 16 square feet. I don't know what happened there, but the system that I'm doing here, kind of forgiving, but at the same time, there's going to be error. So I'm going to use basically that half that bag for this. But you don't have to. You can go by what they recommend on that bag there, because in a compost bin, you're going to do stuff a little bit different than what I'm doing here. So you could actually go by what that bag says. But that's basically it. That's all you have to do with the compost starter. And like I said, if you do week turn, then 2 weeks, and you don't have to have that bag thrown away. You can use it, do whatever. Another thing that you can do so that you don't have to buy a compost starter next year, you can either start your compost right there on the ground. There should be enough soil biology that had filtered through the compost by then to just flow through and be into the ground to kind of start building up your pile again. Or you could save a couple of 5-gallon buckets, keep them alive with just molasses and water, and then start your compost from there. Or you could just save a 1-gallon bucket. Say you're using a lot of compost, save that 1-gallon bucket, do the exact same thing. Then, when you're starting to compost for next year, make what's called a compost tea out of that. You don't even have to do a 1-gallon bucket. I think for 5 gallons it's like 8 cups or something. So you could get by with a lot less. That's pretty much it for this video. See y'all in my next one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that'll help us out in the YouTube algorithms. I'm more out right now, and I still got a little bit of work to do. So, okay.